Good morning. Welcome to this week's edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. My name's Harley, and we had a really fancy startup to today's show. How'd everybody like that? We got the new intro, the countdown, everything. We're starting to get this whole thing down, right? Right? Okay. So this week, I hope to make clear the template setup process. So something that would normally be maybe one of the first things you would do with your site. I mean, all of our previous videos have gone over CRM stuff, setting up email campaigns and email blasts and making sure your customer databases are all set up, because that's all very important. But one of the things that, one of the main reasons you have a website is so that you have this front-facing portal for your business. So what I'm going to show you this week is how you can set up your website template and get the basic overall look of your site set up. So without further ado, we'll go on into the DeltaNet here. Now I am right here just on your first login page. Now to start off, let me show you. This is what my website looks like right now. So this is going to be our starting off point. And this way you can see the kind of changes that I make. The main things I'll point out here is we have my name. There's a designation field in the DeltaNet, which is right on your overviews page. I'll go back over there. Overviews. So if we go down here, designations, name, subtitle. On this kind of template, those populate this section up here. And then we went over how to add your social media links in another video. So this is where these populate on that template. And in the pages system, which we're actually going to go over in depth next week, I think, that determines what these top navigation bars are and what the menu items underneath are. All right, but it's the overall template we're going over today. So to get to your template setup, we're going to go up to the website tab and down to site design. Now from here, you're getting a little bit of a preview of what we have coming up when we start to do the agent modular pages, but that stuff's not available quite yet, but it will be soon. And as we scroll down, these are our primary templates we can select from. So now you can look through all of these. The main point between these templates, especially these 2400 series templates, a lot of the things on these are customizable, like the header graphic and the center graphic, and I'll show you how to customize those. So the main differences between these templates, like the first thing that's pointed out to you, if you look at this template, ID 2408 and 2409, the first thing you see is that the colors are different and that the header graphic is different. But what you need to keep in mind with these two is that that doesn't matter at all, because you can customize this header graphic to whatever you want, or you can pick from a gallery, and these colors can also be customized to whatever you want. So the only real differences between these templates is that in 2408, you see the agent information and the agent name, and all the social media links and everything are right up here in the top right, and those are missing from 2409. So if you have a custom header graphic that includes that information and has your picture and name and everything on it already, then you'll want to go with 2409 so you're not overlaying that over something that's already there. So if we go over to 2417, that's what I'm going to switch to today. So we've got the company logo up in the top right, and it'll have the agent information up in the top left. So to go with that template, we'll just click on the thumbnail. And now it'll load up this Customize Your Navigation page. On the newer templates, or any template that uses the drop-down menus like this, that page doesn't do anything. It's just left over from the older system where you could customize separate top navigation and side navigation links. So if you're on the platform now and you're using one of the older templates, you would probably be able to use that menu. But the newer one, these are set up differently. So we will go ahead and proceed past that step to step 3. Now from here, we can customize our colors. We can add our own custom header graphic, or we can choose from this gallery down here. So first off, I'll just go through this step by step. These describe exactly what color you're going to change. So background color of header, we know that that's going to be back in here. Agent name and phone number color is going to be this stuff. So you can just go down the line and read through these and see what each one of them is going to change. And you'll have to experiment with it a little bit, because some of them, like the header color, will also change the footer color, things like that. So you can always run back through this template setup process over and over again until you get it looking exactly like you want it. But if we want to change a color, we will click on color chart. It loads up our color chart. Now normally it would load this in a new window. I think it's just my web browser, and then on the test site is why it's loading up this way. But we'll say we want to make it black, so we'll click on black, and it changed it black. Now alternatively, if you know hex color codes, or you look up a hex code color picker, you want more to choose from, you can enter the code right here. So I could go to hex color code. HTML color picker. And if I wanted some shade of orange, I could click on orange over here and then click on my shade, and right there's a color code. And I would just copy and paste that in. So it's a little advanced tutorial, I guess. So we'll go down. Now here we can upload a custom header graphic, which is ultimately what I'm going to do. But first we'll take a look at this gallery. So if you don't have a custom header graphic to upload, you can just run down this line and you can pick from whatever color you'd like. So for example, we've got some holiday ones in here. And the one that I've chosen on my example site that I started off with was the Sunburned Children. There they are. There they are. So I just picked that from the gallery and it popped it into the header. So in this case, I'm going to add a custom graphic. So I'll say upload new graphic. I'm going to choose file. And I probably put it on my desktop. There it is. I click open. Now it doesn't show it in the preview, but it should show it on the page. Right now it just shows the file name right here. So it would show a preview if I had a custom header graphic in place already, and I went back to modify my existing template because it gives me the option of deleting the current header graphic also. So we'll go down the line. Now from here, we can choose to put a custom center graphic in place. Now the center graphic is this graphic here, and we can show this in two different ways. We can either show this custom graphic, and this is what's entered in the slogan field on the website overviews page, and it'll overlay this quick search right on top of it. Our other option is that we show a featured listing box over here. So to give you an idea, if I were to upload no center graphic at all, this is about what I would get when I finish that template off. So if I selected no header graphic and uploaded no center graphic, it would put this graphic in by default. Now if I went with the featured home image, in fact we'll do that real quick just to see what it looks like. And we'll go back over this, but we're just getting a preview. So there's my custom header graphic. And if I scroll down, there's what that featured listing graphic would look like if we select that. So let me go back to template setup again. Now if you want to ever edit your existing template setup, you can just click up here because it'll show the one you're using right at the top. So we'll bring that up, go back to step 3. So now instead of the featured home image, we're going to show the default image, except we're not really going to show the default image. We're going to choose File and Desktop Center Graphic. Open. And now we'll move on to step 4. So that's going to upload my center graphic instead of that kitchen graphic in that background. So now, step 4, and this step is similar on all the templates. There might be a few other options on especially the older templates, but the newer ones pretty much break down to this. Our choices here are standard home page, which is going to use single agent or singular verbiage. So anywhere where it is talking in a first person, it's going to use things like I and my. Whereas you can also choose a team version of the page, and really the only difference this makes is anywhere where it uses that kind of verbiage, it's going to use we and us kind of verbiage instead. The most important parts of this page, for most people, is going to be page title, meta description, and meta home page. In a couple weeks, I think we're going to go over this stuff in depth, but what it comes down to is the page title and the meta description tags are things that are picked up by search engines that will ultimately help the ranking of your site. So page title, it's a good idea to have your name in there, or if you're using like a company name, if you're branding yourself that way, then you want to have that name up there. And it's a good idea to put in like an area name also for the areas that you cover, because search engines are going to pick up on that. Meta description tag is the same kind of thing. Search engines will pick up on what the description tag is and use that for their search ranking. Also, if you go to Google and just run a search, it shows the page title as what you click on in the search results, and below that it shows whatever's in this description tag. So if, for example, I were to go to, I'll just go to Google and search for real estate, because why not? So as I scroll down, the page title of this particular page is Find Real Estate, Homes for Sale, Apartments for Rent, blah, blah, blah. And then the description is right here. So Google is getting that information from those two fields. You can set those fields for every one of your pages, but ultimately, this is what sets it for your home page. So this is what's going to drive users to that home page. You can also enter meta keywords here, which is a similar kind of thing picked up by search engines. This would be keywords that have to do with what your page is about, and your name in there isn't a bad idea, and locations that you do business in, but search engines don't generally look at those meta keywords anymore. Those used to be the primary metric for how you would rank pages in search results, but they were so easily manipulated that just about nobody uses them anymore. So it's a good idea to enter them, but you could get away without doing it if you didn't want to. So we'll go down here and finish website, preview, and there we have it. So this is our newly pieced together site. You see I changed the text color to black up here for my name, the name, subtitle, and everything up here. Designation shows up right after my name. Agent image, social media links and everything show up just like they did in that template thumbnail. It's got my custom header graphic and my custom center graphic, which are pretty nice. I actually took these behind the office today, so pretty good pictures. And as we scroll down, this is all the content from my paragraph about you section, and we've talked about that before, but if you, on the website overviews page, this is where you edit your main homepage content. So back up to website and down to overviews, and we go down, and here is our paragraph about you section. Now, I have this special code here, which if you ever need a reminder, is right down here below the editor. But if you enter that there, you can put in a size for the number of featured homes you have on your home page, and there they are. All right, so the last thing I will go over is just really quickly, and we'll go over this in depth down the road, but where these are coming from, basically. So if we go up to website and down to pages, this is where we modify and create any custom pages. Now with this new page button, we can add new pages, we can create new pages of various kinds. All of our pages I have created show up in this list, and if you add any new ones, they show up in the list also. The T means they're set to show up in the top navigation. And if we go down to this navigation menu section, this determines how your top navigation is set up. So items that are already to the left are the root items. So we've got home, buyers, sellers. So home, buyers, sellers show up right in the menu. And then anything indented shows up in the drop-down menu under whatever it's indented under. So all of these are indented under buyers. And then Market Watch for buyers is indented under calculators. For no reason other than I wanted to show something indented. I realized that Market Watch for buyers doesn't make a lot of sense under calculators. But you can see how it's set up. Buyers, it's all indented there, and then Market Watch for buyers indented under calculators. So there we are. There is the overview of setting up a new website template as it exists today. Like I said, we've got some changes we're looking at making down the road here. We're going to add in, new modular responsive agent sites, and those will have entirely different setup mechanisms, but that's going to be for a future video. So keep tuning in, and as always, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to give us a call or send us an email to support@deltagroup.com. If you have any suggestions for future videos, you can send those in there, or go ahead and comment on this video on either Facebook or YouTube, and I will see you next week.